Hey guys, my name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the 6th episode of Celebrity Big Brother 2024. So without further ado, let us get straight into the video. So, as we have just found out, Gary is the first housemate to be evicted from the Big Brother house, which leaves 12, so 11 housemates, plus obviously Sharon Osbourne, the lodger. So, in the episode at the beginning, Fern basically explained it's not a personal thing, obviously being nominated, and David said, go on Gary, and then obviously Louis said to Lauren, you're still here honey, you did something right. And adding that it was the right decision. So I think we kind of saw the leading up to Gary being eliminated, and then obviously once he left the Big Brother house you kind of heard lots of boos, and I think you could kind of hear, like you kind of got Nikita saying like shh, let's try and listen to what's going on, and it sounded like there was a lot of boos for Gary. And then Levi and Louis had a quick chat and they basically just said that it's obviously Gary's first time on TV, and Lauren said that she wasn't ready to leave. Louis basically said to Levi that he pretended that he didn't know Gary was going to get eliminated, but obviously I think between him and Lauren it was very obvious that people were going to keep Lauren because she has a fan base, as opposed to Gary, who doesn't really have many people that know of him. He's just known as someone as part of the royal family. And Levi explained that he kept being a character that wasn't him, and he did tell Gary to just be himself, but for whatever reason he didn't, and therefore, yeah, the public obviously saw the non-genuine side of him, and that's why he obviously got evicted. And then Sharon explained to Nikita, Ekin-Su and Lauren that he said he wanted to go to Ibiza, and added that maybe he's a little bit too old for that, so you know she doesn't really see him in those kind of environments, but at least now he can go on holiday and do whatever he wants. And Lauren came to the diary room to basically say that the reaction from the other housemates that she has stayed was actually very, very lovely, and she said that they all seem to be very happy that she stayed in the Big Brother house. So I think she is one of the genuine ones of the house. I'm not sure how out of all the 12 of them, if they're all genuine or if maybe some of them are a bit gameplay-y, but at least, I guess, yeah, being first up for nomination and then also being saved by the public kind of goes like 2 and 2. It's like the housemates might not really like you, but at least you've got backing from the public. And then Fern brought up the tropical conversation of Donald Trump, asking if anyone liked him. Louis said he was allergic to Donald, and Sharon basically said to Louis, Ekin-Su, Fern, Brad and Levi that she actually had a celebrity appearance on Celebrity The Apprentice America with Donald Trump, and obviously Cyndi Lauper was there as well. And then here Lauren joined the conversation, and Bradley basically shouted that he absolutely loves Cyndi Lauper, and Sharon basically said that, you know, he's like 78, 79 years old, so we're not going to have to suffer him much longer, and obviously eventually he won't be the president. And then we found out that the first task for shopping was going to be at Big Brother's police department. So we had Murder on the Floor, that song from Saltburn playing in the background, obviously one of Sophie Ellis-Bextor's songs, and yeah, the whole living room of the Big Brother house was dedicated to the police department, where all of them were dressed up as cops, and they had to basically find clues to work out who murdered the clown, basically. Ekin-Su explained that it was her dream come true. Coulson said this is his forte, obviously being in Coronation Street or as a policeman. And Coulson basically said, look, I'd really want to be captain. I think a lot of people kind of pointed their fingers at him, saying that they want him to be the captain, and Big Brother chose Lauren to be the captain, and then second in command Big Brother had chosen Marisha. So 2 female leads, big personalities leading the task, so that's obviously good. And then obviously in terms of the uniforms, so David dressed up and he said I look like a plus-sized stripper, with Fern saying I still pay for it. And then they had to choose 2 officers who were going to guard the crime scene, and they chose Sharon and Fern, so they had to go and kind of investigate the scene. And then 1 officer to obviously guard the body at all times, and they obviously chose Zizi. Coulson said to Nikita it would have been better for him to be at the crime scene, bearing in mind he's been in a police drama, or at least he's been in Coronation Street as a police officer, so he kind of knows his way around crime scenes, real or not real. And then David was actually called to the diary room by Big Brother. So a little bit suspicious here, because they're in the middle of a task and you've kind of got, you know, some people off to go guard the body. You've got David off to Big Brother, the diary room, and he kind of had a little chat with Zizi on the way in, and she was just like taking care of the body, and they had a little bit of banter there. And he basically said to her that he's gone from an all high to being below the floorboards, which she wasn't really sure what that meant, and I don't obviously know why that happened. Big Brother told David that he had a secret task and he needed to become one of Big Brother's bad cops. So he obviously started like screaming and getting excited, and he was advised of the task, which was to basically just sabotage the task. So any clues that were found, remove the evidence, and basically to remain undetected. And he was also able to recruit somebody, so he decided to recruit Zizi. One, I guess, because she was the closest to the diary room, but I guess two, because they obviously are two of the young ones who obviously bond. And he basically came out and took Zizi to the side and said, look, we're both the bad cops, and basically explained to her that they had to ruin the task. So obviously they had to make sure that they were communicating with each other throughout the task, but also not making it too obvious that it was just the two of them and against everyone else. Coulson was having a chat with Fern, Sharon and Lauren, saying that he actually saved one of the characters called Faye from robbery on Coronation Street. I think Faye was one of the young actresses. And Zizi went into the diner, which was a little a hole through the bathroom wall. So obviously David told her to go in and have a look, and she basically went in. It was a massive like diner with like 4 seats. You got some milkshakes, drinks, food, whatever. Obviously David at this point was still guarding the body, I guess, on behalf of Zizi at this point. And yeah, she was basically told, yeah, the diner is their safe house, and the first task they needed to do was to steal the body, bring it to the diner, and then obviously she was able to eat that letter she was given the instructions on, because it was edible. So she had a little nibble and she said, actually, it's quite nice. So I'm not really sure what it was, some sort of pastry or some sort of sweet cake or something. And then, yeah, basically David said to Ekin-Su and Coulson he needed to go to the toilet, and he told Marisha he was off to the toilet as well. So I guess at that point, yeah, he just was obviously going to check on Zizi. Again, at this point, David was taking control of the body. He was making sure that was okay. And I've never seen someone move so quickly, but Zizi literally grabbed the body of the clown, I guess without being caught, and whacked it through the hole to the diner. It was very funny. So she carried that into the diner, and obviously David was kind of covering the floor with sheets to make it look like nothing has actually happened. And then Louis went for an afternoon nap. So not only have you got David and Zizi on their secret mission, Louis's gone to have a quick nap. 2 of them have gone to investigate the crime scene, obviously not while David and Zizi were moving the body around, and then everyone else was obviously there looking for clues. Lauren then had a quick chat with Nikita, and she basically saw him writing his name with letters on his face, and she said to him, would a police officer ever write their name on their face? Obviously he just found that funny. And it was David and Bradley who were on watch out for the big bro nuts, and they needed to basically click the machine when the figure or the silhouette gave money to another figure. So I think at this point Bradley was very much on it. He wanted to make sure he got it right, got all the sightings, and then David basically was trying to ruin the task, because obviously him and Zizi are on their secret mission, and if they were to win the task and be undetected, they'd get a luxury shopping budget, so they could all get whatever food that they want. So it's kind of a good thing. It's bad that they're going against the team, but good if they beat the team, because then they actually all get something in return. And he was at the big bro nuts with Bradley, obviously kind of trying to distract him every so often, you know, shouting that there's a bear over there, or telling him to get under the car. So obviously it gave a bit of time delay for David to just click the random button or whatever. And yeah, it was a very funny, distractive tactic, but it was really, really funny, and I think David played that off quite well. Lauren then went to the bedroom to go wake up Louis, and David basically explained to Zizi that it was quite difficult to distract Bradley when you're literally sat in front of something, and she needed to go outside and ask David to swap. So obviously then David could, you know, try and do something with the body. So I think Lauren then came outside and obviously saw Zizi outside. Obviously that wasn't her task. So she basically said to Zizi, you need to sit outside and not take part in the task, because I've not asked you to take part in the task? And she just said, yeah, I want some outside time, you know, I need to be outside, it's too warm inside, I need a bit of a break. So I know why they wanted to be outside, I know why she wanted to be there to help sabotage the task, but I guess Lauren also put people in their place, and task or no task, you kind of need to follow if there's some sort of leadership or whatever there. And then it was over to Ekin-Su and Coulson, so they had to go to the sleazy hotel, and they had to look for 4 fingers, 4 plastic fingers around the bloody crime scene. And yeah, Zizi basically said to David that obviously her next task from the diner, which again had another edible letter, was to steal the evidence and also to eat the instructions once again. So Levi was going to come and take care of the body. David said he was going to cover for 10 minutes. And then Zizi, Ekin-Su and Coulson came back with their evidence, and David asked Zizi how they're going to remove the evidence. She basically said to him, why don't you start a commotion outside? And David said, hang on, I could ask if everyone's allowed to have a 5-minute break outside. So he went upstairs, spoke to Lauren and Marisha, the captain and obviously the sub-captain. And at first she said, no break. And then she said, actually, you know, you've all been working hard. You can all have 5 minutes in the garden. So Zizi ran off to the toilet, and yeah, they all basically went outside. Levi came back in because he was going to make Bradley and Nikita a drink. Nikita's one with obviously soya milk. And David said, no, it's all right, I'll do it. So basically at this point, the aim was get everyone outside. David's in the kitchen making tea, which it was kind of a bit of a... He didn't really need that. He just kind of needed everyone outside. So the fact that they wanted a tea could have been delayed a little bit later. Zizi was in the toilet because I guess she was going to come and grab the evidence, and David was obviously going to be on watch out. And then basically, yeah, she managed to grab the box. She didn't put the box back, so David had to quickly do it and put the lock on. And he said, I'm buzzing, F yes. So she's gone, taken that. And then, yeah, obviously at the end of the task, they had to bring the body back. So it was Levi and Bradley. And Levi basically said, oh my God, you broke it. At least put the head back on the body. And then when they brought the body out, Zizi just said, that's not the body we had before. Ekin said that there's no fingers in the box. And Sharon said that there seems to be a bad cop in here. In total, they had to decide how many sightings they had of Top Hat Tommy, and Bradley said that there was 11. In fact, they actually missed 7 of the sightings, so there was a total of obviously 18. And Marisha said 2 of you didn't fulfill your prayers to the Force, and I guess some of them here just kind of were guessing who they thought the bad cops were. So Coulson said Bradley, that Bradley was obviously the only one outside. Levi said David, because he actually volunteered to look after the body. And then obviously some people voted for Fern as well. In the end, the 2 names of the bad cops they voted for, Marisha said, was Fern and Bradley. And Fern basically said it was a travesty of justice. We did find out at the end of the task that there were 2 bad cops, and the fact that there were 2 bad cops and they were undetected means that they got a luxury budget to obviously go shopping. And obviously Bradley and Fern were chosen as the 2 that were the bad cops, and obviously both innocent. And someone said, can someone, and he basically just said, can someone come and hug us? And she basically said she enjoyed today, with Brad saying, and now I'm sat in a jail, but I couldn't imagine doing it with anyone better than you. David and Zizi obviously went to their winners party, and they chose both Marisha and Ekin-Su to go with them to the private winners treat, and they had donuts. Coulson said to both Fern and Bradley, this is probably his first failure that he's had in a police uniform. And then Lauren had a quick chat with Louis, because I guess here they have got some sort of bond, they have got some sort of connection. So she asked him what he did when he was younger, and he basically said his mum was a housewife, and he actually got sent to boarding school because I guess she wanted him to go down more of the religious route. And she basically said that there's lots of different traditions, and it's all about family, which is I guess why people are in that sort of field. Louis said he kind of started with music bands, so he had a couple of people from Eurovision, he had Boyzone, he obviously climbed up and grovelled and worked hard, and then he obviously met Simon Cowell and everything changed for him in terms of his career. And then David and Zizi were having a chat outside, and he basically said to Zizi he's very single, he's had a lot of situationships, and he gets bored really, really easily. Lauren was speaking to Sharon, and basically said that her eldest daughter is absolutely gorgeous, and Sharon added that it looks a bit like Ekin-Su. So I guess at this point they're talking about Sharon and Ozzy, their TV programme that they had that Lauren obviously fangirled over. And Sharon basically said that Ozzy has never watched an episode of their show, and a lot of the times in it he was quite high on whatever, so he was never focused or zoned in, and he didn't really, I think one of their daughters never wanted to be in any of the episodes, and then eventually one of them was like kind of pushed to be in it, and it was a bit like of a shock. They're like, oh, they're actually in the episode for once. She also said that she doesn't understand how the housewives and all of these different women are portrayed in their shows, and they're quite instantly disposable, or they're able to spend all this money and buy all these things just however and whenever they need. Like, I'll get a flight here, or get this outfit here, or go and spend this in America or whatever. And then Lauren kind of tried to back up the shows, because obviously she was on the UK version, but I guess Sharon's talking about the US version, or just the series in general. And she said that for the Housewives show, she was actually approached, and she basically said she just wanted to be famous. She wanted to have a little bit of fun, and she used to be a hairdresser, so she did have a normal job, and obviously now she's kind of doing whatever she's doing now. She just said there's definitely something else behind these women. So yeah, you kind of see they all look gorgeous, they've probably all had plastic surgery, and they've all got lots of money, but there is something behind them. It's just, I guess on the front you just kind of see that they want to be famous, they want to have money, they want to get attention, they want to, you know, be in the public eye, which I guess is not really a bad thing if you're doing what you enjoy, like you're working, but you're actually having fun at work. But yeah, she said there was definitely something behind them there. And then Sharon explained, for example, someone called Denise Richards, with Lauren saying she's a mess, and apparently she was on one of these shows, and you know, ended up turning to all these websites and things, and then kind of questioned, well, hang on, why was she doing this for? Like, she ruined herself. And Lauren said she's obviously doing it for the money, what else? And then Ekin-Su basically said she would rather have £0 in her bank account than millions doing it the wrong way. So I guess I kind of agree and disagree there. Agree in terms of, yes, you want to make money, but you want to do it legitimately, but also at the same time, if you're offered millions of pounds, I'm not going to say no, because that's a deposit on a house, that's, you know, a car, that's trips to wherever I want to go. So I wouldn't say no to that. It's just, you'd feel a bit that you've cheated the game, that you've kind of been given everything you want rather than actually earning it yourself. But I guess sometimes you do get lucky. So yeah. And then obviously right at the end of the episode, Ekin-Su asked Sharon would she ever do OnlyFans, because I think they were kind of talking about that very briefly, and Sharon said no, absolutely not, who do you think I am, or something along the lines of that. So yeah, that's where we got to at the end of Sunday's episode. So if you did enjoy my review, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'm not really sure where we're going from here, so in terms of content and in terms of yeah, the next day of Big Brother, I don't really know where we are, but yeah, if you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And until my next review, thank you very much for watching, and until then, goodbye.